Hey everyone, hi, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why I started a booktube channel, essentially, and how it's gone now that I've been on here for coming up to 3 years. So, yeah, if you're new to my channel, then hi, I'm Shelly. Welcome. It's going to be a weird one. This is the small pocket of time that I have right before work, and so I'm going to be getting finished, getting ready for work while I talk through my thoughts. And I really love books and reading, and I love booktube, and I love making booktube videos. And so if you like all of that and you're enjoying the vibe, I would encourage you to subscribe, stick around, like the video, say hey in the comments if you feel so obliged. And I also have a Patreon. Wow. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the meat of this video. I started my channel in the summer of 2021. I had two small kids. It had been a year since I had graduated from graduate school, which was contextually, my graduate school was an online program. And while I was, all of my classes were online and pretty much all of my interactions were online. I chose it because it was a nationally accredited program, and it was in my state. So it was a good choice in terms of education, but not very great in terms of socially, like making those social connections, because you're just kind of like popping online for class and then popping off, like getting the information, popping offline to do your work, and then sometimes you would like interact with the other students, but I didn't really forge a lot of connections there. Though I did meet a lot of people, it was never really past that sort of very basic acquaintance level in terms of my graduate school experience. And then let's think, we were about a year into the pandemic. A lot of people were still staying at home in the summer of 2021. A lot of people were still masking and not out in the public as much. I know that we were still being careful, and just kind of keeping our social interactions to less than we would normally have kept them. And that was my life. I was a reader. Back then I read, and I had known about BookTube on and off for, I don't know, about a decade. I've been a long time YouTube watcher. So book channels would come, across my screen. I may or may not watch them. And so in terms of people in my life that I talked books with my mom, who my mother is one of the kindest, sweetest people on this planet. And because she loves me, she will listen to me go on and on and on about books. But it's really, it's like, I don't want to say it's one-sided, but I know that books are not her thing. But when you love somebody, you'll like graciously give them that time. And the same is for my husband. I did talk books with my husband. And I actually recently was like, I talk books less with you now, right? Because I have my booktube channel and bookish people to talk to. And he was like, I'm glad you think that, love. He's like, whatever you need to think. I was like, oh, okay. So I think he thinks that I still talk to him a lot about my books. I definitely don't cover all of my books with him, but I will, when I have a bookish thought, I will, be like, Ted. So those are the two people that I talked books with. And, maybe my librarian, maybe like someone at the circulation desk I might have a conversation with about books. But yeah, that was kind of it. I discovered BookTube through this corner of the BookTube that I interact with the most, through Gina. And I quickly found Steve Donahue. And they made it seem so chill, having a BookTube channel. sat down, very little editing, if any, no editing. They just sat down and talked books, and it seemed really chill, and it seemed really inviting. If you don't know these channels, I will leave them linked down below. And I wanted to do it. I was also in a place in my life where I was in a place in my life where I wasn't working. I was a stay-at-home mom at that point, and I had a little bit of time, and I don't know. It spoke to me. I was like, that seems really easy and really chill. And then I was like, well, I want to join the party. It looks like a party, and I want to join it. And here's what happened. I'm gonna try and get ready. I'll be back. I will be back. But let me put in some earrings and stuff. So I think it took a couple of videos. I started with a TBR video, and it definitely took a handful of videos. I was welcomed, if you do the Booktube newbie tag, or the algorithm finds you immediately, you'll get welcomed. But the Booktube newbie tag is typically the way that people in the bookish community search out that tag to welcome new booktubers. And so I had done the Booktube newbie tag, and I was welcomed so warmly to this small but somewhat big bookish community that was just excited to have another reader on board, willing to talk about her thoughts and what she's reading and the books that she buys. And was willing to partake in tags and bookish conversations. This community was just so excited to welcome everyone, or welcome me at least. And it wasn't all of a sudden I had hundreds of subscribers or anything like that. But what I did have was engaged people who wanted to be my friend and also wanted to talk bookish things. And that was so cool. And having now the perspective of being pretty much getting close to 3 years later, I look back on that other self, and I was like, I think I didn't have the knowledge then that it was in a weird way lonely, but I loved books. I love talking about books. 3 years later, I haven't stopped loving talking about books and my feelings about books, and I enjoy it so much. And I obviously have hundreds of hours of videos up in which I talk about the books that I am buying, I'm thinking about, that I'm reading, and what I think about that, and all the bookish things. And I am 3 years in, and I'm not tired of it. I ridiculously love it. I love it so much. And as I've changed as a reader and grown, y'all change and grow with me. But here's the thing. Now I have so many people, not even I have so many people to talk books with. Whether it be you all in the comments, anyone who comments and is I love that book too, or thanks for recommending it, or great video, or a lot of you come out and recommend to me books, which is highly influential. It's highly influential. I just you all, the comments fields in my videos I still respond to every comment, whether it be a heart, but I still do. I may be behind. It may take me a little while, but I still respond to every single comment, and I read all of my comments. And in a lot of ways, that is it fuels me. It's wonderful. Occasionally I get an email from one of y'all, and I'm wretched at my emails. So if I don't email you back, please don't take it seriously. I just don't often sit down at my computer to type. But what's really changed big time is that I've made friends. like on Booktube. And there are so many people who I am like I'm like deconstructing my books with them. I'm a part of a book club. I'm a part of, I join reading groups, I host events, and you don't have to like even be a host or anything like that of events, but participating in things like March of the Mammoths and middle grade March, and like people are just so kind and welcoming on this platform, and it's a way to forge a connection, and the connections I've made have been truly life-changing. And in terms of like equipment and stuff like that, which I kind of like laugh at. So sometimes I put more effort into my videos than not. Your effort, like if you are thinking about starting a Booktube channel because you have this like desire to talk books with people who are like your people, who like also really, really, really love books, I would definitely say to just do it. All you need is your phone and yourself. And don't be shy. We want to see your beautiful face, and we want to hear your gorgeous voice, and we want to connect. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that I know that like I put effort into my videos. Part of that is me. I've owned a camera, and I'm a photographer. Like I've been a hobbyist as a photographer for years. So I've owned things, and the side of the aesthetics, the growing of the aesthetic side of me, like, what do I say? How do I say that? The side of me that loves aesthetics, in terms of like visual quality and making the channel like pretty, I guess. That is also like a cog in the wheel of this hobby for me. But it doesn't have to be for you at all. Like, we want to be able to hear you. We want to be able to see you. So, maybe don't film in a dark room with all the lights off, and have like something muffling your mic. You might want to like do a couple, but you know what? Just starting is the most important thing. I was going to say you might want to test it out, but honestly, like there have been booktubers that have filmed all higgly-piggly and whatever, and you just learn along the way. And guess what? We've all been there. I think in one of my first videos, it sounds like I'm screaming at you because the mic on my camera is crap. So it sounds like I'm literally yelling at you, and that bugged me. So I changed that. And I had the means to change it, but you don't have to, y'all. You do not have to. And also part of it was like my camera. The mics on your phones are so much better than on my camera. So, yeah, so that's important thing. You don't have to make a thumbnail. You don't have to edit. You just need to bring yourself to this place, the Booktube place. Be willing to talk about what you're reading, what you're thinking, and kind of take the leap of faith of putting yourself out there. And what you get in return is amazing. What I have gotten in return is amazing, and so much more. Like money, no, I don't care about that. Like money, growth, like of course seeing things grow, like that is an exciting thing. But the real thing that has mattered are the relationships that I have built because of putting myself out there. I have met some of my best friends on this channel, like because of the channel. People who love to talk books, and it's a really beautiful base for a friendship, like a common love, right? And then from there, you end up growing as friends. So, talking about things that aren't bookish, talking about worries and struggles, talking about daily life and some of the mundanities. But the first connection is this connection of loving literature. And it's just been awesome. So, at one point back in 2021, I didn't know what I was gifting myself. I was gifting myself like a huge, wonderful, amazing, powerful sense of connection with other people. and not just sense of it, but like an actual connection with others. People that I talk to pretty much every day, definitely every week. And with all of y'all, like, y'all influence me in so many ways. And so if you are thinking about starting a booktube channel, if you're like, oh my gosh, yeah, like I sort of make my husband listen to me talk about books, and I don't know if I'm going to be welcomed on the booktube community, don't worry about that. Just start. Just like dive right in, and I promise you, like, like 999 times out of 1,000, you know, you join, and you tell people that you're here, and amazingly connections begin to form, and it's an awesome experience. So, at one point, I was lonely, and now I am absolutely not. And I love what I do, and you will have to get me off this YouTube-ness. You will have to do it with me kicking and screaming for sure. All right, that's it for me. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye.